Welcome everybody to another episode of the Lunch Table Podcast, and in this video we're going to give you our review for Loki Season 2, Episode 2, now streaming on Disney+. So yeah, there's a lot of shit that happened here, a lot of controversial things as well. We got plenty to talk about. Dylan, without further ado, start us off.
Alright, so apparently Sylvie's working for minimum wage.
Yeah.
She blew up the whole fucking universe just to work for minimum wage. What the
That's
fuck?
the shit I was talking about. I couldn't believe it. Come on.
Shit, all that for a fucking burger job. Okay.
Oh my goodness.
Free and independent, I guess.
Yeah.
I thought it was an interesting episode. So we have a new character named X5. I don't remember him. I think he's a new character. I don't remember him.
I think he was in the first episode, wasn't he? He was in the first episode because she told him to go and then go track Sylvie down, and then that's it. And he came. But I don't know.
I think he was like part of Renslayer's loyalist, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But played by Raphael Cazal. He was pretty fun to play with. I'm mad that they didn't. I was telling you about this when they had that whole interrogation scene. I'm mad that they didn't have the chance. They had the opportunity. They just didn't. It's a common Marvel L.
Yeah.
But Loki, I feel like should have pulled a Natasha Romanoff.
Oh my god.
On X5 and let his ego be his downfall in a way and be like, oh, you're a monster. I'm not the monster. I don't know. So that could have been such a cool thing that they did in Marvel continuity. He learned his lesson. He took a thing that his enemies did on him and spin it. I don't know. It could have been funny.
Great point. Absolutely. That was common Marvel L. Yeah. They should have so did that. I have to say though, that whole interrogation scene was pretty intense. I was actually shocked. I was like, where's this guy? I really felt like somebody was going to start slapping him around a bit. Well, that was crazy.
It's funny because you thought Loki would be the one to crack, but it was actually he had more restraint than Mobius, which I thought was really funny. I love interrogations when they're done really well. And I think in this show, it took up a good chunk of the episode. But it shows Loki is he's a villain, but he's coming to terms with who he is. He's more of an anti-hero, if anything. But I like that he's kind of using his darker side as a heroic aspect, if that makes sense. He's using it as a tactic to get information out of bad guys. I don't know, it's just something about it.
Sure. And this episode, honestly, I felt like this was really real. It just seems like a guy or a god trying to do the best that he can. And again, that's pretty ironic. He's a god, but he's still trying to do the best that he can. And there was something inspiring about that and really real. And it made me feel like I had a lot in common with Loki for some reason. I was really egging him on to even console Mobius and try to make him feel better. I liked that. There was a nice thing going on there, and I think they did it really well in this episode. The structure for episode 1 and episode 2 really strange, because now it seems, we talked about this in a Gen V, check that out, we did a review recently, where it's very serialized, like you said, and they focus on one problem and then they fix it, and then they leave some crumbs of what's going to come, and then that's it. They leave it alone until the next time. How do you feel about that?
I think it fits more for this than Gen V, because this is the type of show where there's so many chaotic elements going on. It's the TVA in a way is supposed to represent this big machine that runs the universe, sure. Right? So you had to fix every cog in that machine. You can't just focus on one thing because other things are happening. And then, of course, the looming threat obviously is Kang, but I feel like they're building towards that. But before they get to that, of course, they have to find Sylvie. They have to kind of, fix themselves, because the TVA right now is kind of in a conflict. It's like a civil war going on right now, but the whole, should we let the variants... I think it's such an interesting conversation what they're having with the variants right now. Should we let them live, to keep the sacred timeline, because it could, the fabric of reality will basically crumble if we don't let this happen. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, B-15 said, they're still people, and it's still, you're still committing universal genocide by pruning all these branches. So I think it's almost like a Adam and Eve or Prometheus archetype. It's what the variants go through, because they want, and X-15 is a good example of that in this episode, because he wants to live his own life and not be bound to the TVA. But then there's variants like Mobius who are like, they're fine with being not who they are, right? They're the ignorance, almost, in a way. It's like their new truth now. They've adopted this identity. But then there's some people that can't live with that truth, and they kind of want to eat the apple and rediscover who they really were, right? I just think that's a really interesting thing to play with.
Yeah, perfectly said. It's interesting because I, for some reason, struggle with choosing a side here. I know that may seem weird. I just feel like this whole thing could have been avoided if Kang had not complicated the situation. So because he complicated the situation, I think if I were to think like Thanos, I would think, okay, well, the simplest solution is actually just to uncomplicate that. And what they did was correct, probably not morally correct, but it was kind of correct to, oil that well-oiled machine in the first place. So I was really torn. Like, how should I really feel about this? And maybe that's a weird thing for me to say. Maybe I'm just a psychopath like Thanos or that lady. But I think exactly what you brought up. It's an interesting dichotomy between the scenarios. And perhaps maybe the answer all along is just to, what is it? Let and live or something like that. Like that saying. Maybe that's what Sylvie's kind of thinking. Like, just screw it. Just let nature take its course, because you already confined it into this machine. How was it before the machine? So it's like, just let it go. Or you could just keep everything going on as it's supposed to be. But I tell you what, though, at least now we do kind of have a confirmation of where Ravonna whereabouts is. And we also have more of a safety net now, or at least more time, because the timelines have been, deleted.
Corrected.
So I mean, that is, I guess, maybe the good thing that came from this genocide. I don't know. Now I feel weird saying it. But I like this dynamic because it does add an interesting commentary, and it kind of gets you thinking, like, was this right? And I always like when shows try to push that. I think it makes you question yourself, and I think that's also good. And that little moment too. So that was pretty good. Props to them.
Well, it's also another thing. It's like, Kang really was the solution in a way. Even though he was the problem, he was also the solution, because he even knew himself that he was terrible for doing all this. But it's like the lesser of two evils. It's like, you either have all his variants, or you keep the peace by doing that. It's kind of like Cabin in the Woods, like when they did that whole ritual sacrifice. But it's like to prevent these dark gods from taking over the world. And now it's like Sylvie, in a way, became that devil or that problem, right? And in a way, it kind of fits, God of mischief, right? You're the person that creates all this chaos happening. So it's so ironic at the same time. And it's more ironic because Loki, played by Tom Hiddleston, is actually the one keeping the peace. It's almost like he's redefining his role as like a God of mischief.
Which is cool too, because you think the God of mischief is like, I'm gonna stab you, haha, and I stabbed you or whatever. But it's actually more nuanced. It's there's more to it, and sometimes
now it's, can I take your orders?
Now it's, can I take your orders? Exactly. And this episode did make me hungry. What did you think of? Well, the actor's name is Rafael Casal. What's his name again? F-15 something. Yeah. What did you think of his? What did you think of his, like, just his scenes with Loki and Mobius? I thought he was pretty cool.
Funny.
Yeah, he's pretty funny.
It's so funny seeing anybody but Loki in a prison jumpsuit, because I feel like he's been like detained so many times.
Right.
No, he was cool, and he presents a challenge to Loki in terms of dialogue. I think he went a little too far with the mother thing. I'm not gonna lie. If I was
Your mother was a whole.
I would have.
It's like, damn.
I would have cut that motherfucker's tongue, and it wouldn't took me 50 years neither. But I did like that whole interrogation scene, and to see like how far even Mobius was willing to go to let Loki let him off his leash a little bit, to have fun with, getting this information out of him. I thought that was so funny.
That was clever on both of their parts, actually. And then we're also now more towards the end. Of course, we do have this confrontation with Loki and Sylvie. And then later on, they actually try to help each other, I think, to foil this plot by Kate Dickey's character. But what did you? Well, first of all, I thought the fighting wasn't that good. I'm not gonna lie. That whole like scene. I don't know how you felt about it. Well, actually, tell me how you felt about that, and then also tell me what did you think of the confrontation between Loki and Sylvie. Like the feeling.
First of all, I was kind of underwhelmed by the confrontation because I feel like it was supposed to be more dramatic because it was a life or death situation when he left Sylvie.
Yeah.
So I kind of wanted more out of that. It was just kind of like, oh, my shift's in 5. Like, you got 5 minutes to talk. I don't know. It's just I wanted more out of it because they have such a unique relationship in the Marvel universe that I've never seen. It's like you're literally in love with yourself. Anyway, it's like a reflection of Loki's ego. It's like he's so narcissistic they literally can't find love with anyone but himself.
I know.
So I kind of wanted more out of the exchange. And yeah, I agree. The fighting was kind of lackluster. It was like really like it was one and done.
Yeah.
And it was resolved really quickly. And then it didn't really work because all the branches got pruned in the end anyway. So it's like, it was kind of underwhelming.
I don't know. Yeah, that's true. I felt really pissed off at Sylvie a little bit. And if I was Loki, he, I would have told her, well, listen, it's either we stay in love or I fall in love with Rosie Palm here. And then he just, that was my little comedy thing. But yeah, no, that was pretty underwhelming. I just felt like pissed off at her. And I feel like...
Yeah, because she didn't take any fucking accountability for anything. It's like the universe is literally dying because you made this selfish choice.
Well, she is a Loki variant, though, so...
Serve 40-piece McNuggets every day. Like, shit.
Yeah, I know.
That's true. She is a Loki. It fits her MO, right?
Yeah, I hope that they get on good... I actually feel like they're not going to get on good terms because he did mention that he's seen her in the future, so she was up to something. And we did see at the end of the episode, actually, her timeline is being pruned because she looked at her thing and it was like messing up or something like that. So it seems like she's going to go bye-bye. And then now, because of that, she will meet up with Loki eventually, which I'm glad. I do want to see these people. I feel like Jada Smith, like I want to see the entanglement. And, I hope so. I actually hope so, but I don't know.
Well, shit, she's going to have to fucking pull through eventually because if the multiple Kangs come through, it's like, yeah, you killed one, but you let in all these other ones. So it's like, no matter what you do, and that's the thing about the sacred timeline, it keeps changing too. So there's all these different variables and factors. So it's like you have to keep fighting this fight, unfortunately, just to even keep your own reality. So it's kind of fucked in a way. And the TVA even though she hates the TVA, it's a necessary evil. Like I said, it maintains control. And it's like Loki said, it's a defense. So you need it, number one, to keep control of the timeline, but also to keep the Kangs away. So it's like you have to live with it.
Well, it's a hard situation because it's a game and Kang created it. So it's how do you get out of that? And you can't just kill Kang because obviously that didn't work the first time. And which is really interesting because each episode seems like they're resolving a problem. For all we know, maybe next episode they're going to catch up with Ravonna and put 2 bullets behind the back of her head and be done with it. Good. And that's it. I mean, this is so at least they're solving things each. It does feel productive what they're doing each episode, rather than it's like a carrot on a stick and they're like, wait until the last episode. Gotcha, bitch. So, but overall, you know what I'm going to ask you. What's your body count? What would you rate this episode?
5 out of 10. That's my butt. No, okay. No, it was a pretty enjoyable episode for me. I would probably give this 9 out of 10. It was pretty enjoyable for me, and then we got to see Sylvia back, and we got more out of Tom Hiddleston, which I like. I think I love the scenes where like he's actually like using his Loki powers for some reason.
Yeah,
it fits his character. Because sometimes he feels a little too, I don't know, like TVA personnel. Right. I want more out of his powers and to see like him as a character. But I think that they did that well in this episode. So I can't wait to see what the next episode brings. So 9 out of 10 for me. How about you?
Yeah, for sure. I think I would honestly give it an 8 out of 10. The last episode was more epic, but it's not like, oh, I'm so bored. I'm not like that, but it's just I wish that... I know it's complicated to say because I think there was a lot more emotional action, which I do appreciate. So, but for that anyways, I'm still going to give it an 8 out of 10. which I think is pretty fair. And this show so far, I don't think is as bad as a lot of people are saying. So it's a pretty decent show. Loki, again, is one of my favorite Marvel series on Disney Plus. And I think for sure, definitely next episode, they're going to visit Ravonna. Yeah, that's her name, Ravonna. Sorry, they're gonna visit Ravonna, and I'm scared that I'm scared she's gonna be like clipped for real because they keep solving issues, and I'm scared she's gonna like go.
Well, she got a better chance than the writers for Daredevil Born Again, I'll tell you.
Yeah, that's screwed too. That's screwed too. Maybe that, you know what, it's actually really meta. That's what's going on right now. That's why when they prune the timelines, they cancel Daredevil Born Again.
That's what it is. Everybody's getting pruned left and right. Shit. You just see us fade away or some shit.
Well, yeah, absolutely. Well, why don't you take us away, my friend?
Well, thank you guys for sticking in for this review for Loki episode 2. Check out our episode 1 review if you haven't already. Let us know your thoughts down below, what you thought of this episode and what we'll probably see for the rest of the series. If you enjoy this video, leave a like, sub to the channel for more content. We do plenty of reviews. But until then, guys, thanks for having lunch with us.
See you guys.